guys, glad to have you back again. If you're new here, you are highly welcome. My name is Esther, and here in my channel I talk about relationship, faith and marriage. Today we have an important guest in our midst today, and my beloved husband, Jeff-Anozie.
Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm Jeff-Anozie and it's good to be here.
Alright, so today we are going to be talking about something important that I had to literally drag him to do this video with me today, okay? And it's for you to pick one or two points that has really helped us along the way, okay? So we are talking about generally how we met, the circumstances surrounding how we met, and thoughts far, why we are here, how we got here. Alright, so if you like the topic already, please do well to hit the like button, comment, and most especially subscribe to my channel. So today, like I said earlier on, we're going to be talking about how we met. So I'm going to be asking my husband how we met. How did we meet?
Okay, this is an interesting topic. We've been married now for 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years close. I wouldn't say we've had the perfect marriage, but we've had something very good and very enjoyable. Yes, we've had that. So here is the thing. We met, okay, so before we met in 2016, right? A few years ago, not too long. But okay, yeah, so 2016, I had just come out from a 5-year relationship. And it's, of course, not immediately, but a few months before I met her. Before we, began to talk, right? We've known in church, in House on the Rock here, and then we were both in the same department in church. However, we were just hello hi kind of people. She used to be a snob. I'm the one that just so we were just hello hi kind of friends. Once in a while, hello hi, Funnily enough, I was a friend to her younger sister. I was closer to her younger sister and closer to her friend than her, you can imagine. So after the whole breakup and stuff, I took a bit of a break, and then of course I tried out a few other relationships, hoping they would lead to marriage, right? But they didn't still work. Until one day in church, and I was not feeling too well, so I was outside. I came outside. I remember. I came outside. I think I came to ease myself or something, and she was outside. So I can't remember exactly who said hello first, right? But I remember that she started asking me why I was looking the way I was looking, because I actually had the blisters and all of that, and so one talk led to another, so we began to, and it was as if a veil was removed from my eyes. Someone I used to see things, I suddenly started seeing her in another light, right? So that day the conversation was just how are you doing and all of that. I'll check on you later and all of that. Okay, anyways, I went home, she went home after church, and I asked her out on a date one other day, a weekday. Asked her out on a date, so she came around to the place. Of course she came, even though she came a bit late, but she came anyways. And we had lunch. Was it lunch or brunch? Something like that together, So that day we talked, we discussed a bit. Now I've always told myself that if I converse with you for between 20 to 30 minutes, I can largely know the content in your head. I can largely know where your head is at, right? I used to pride myself with that kind of superpower. So upon discussing with her for a bit, we had that meeting for like, I think 30 minutes or thereabout, right? Within that period of time, I knew that this was someone I wanted to connect with. I wasn't so sure yet about the marriage thing, but I was sure that, okay, this is someone I wanted to give attention to. And so shortly after that day was her birthday, and of course we're in touch anyways, we kept in touch. And then her birthday, which was a few months later, we met around April. Her birthday was like in June, and her birthday, and of course I also, invited her out to meet me up somewhere, and we met that day. Of my widow's mind, I gave her a gift, and that was the day. I think that was the day I asked you out. Yeah, that was the day I asked out, and yeah. And she told me I should give her some time. She needed to go and talk to all her mentors and prophetesses.
I did not say that.
Okay, she didn't say prophet. So she needed to go and talk to her village people. Anyway, she needed to go and talk to her mentors, which I was very okay with, right? And that was it. That was how we met. Then a few weeks later, I think 2 weeks. Something later, she gave me a response after passing me through the eye of the needle. I had to see her mentors, one of them, the other one, and we talked and everything, and all of them were drawing my ear. That kind of thing. Anyways, for me, prior to meeting her, I was sure that I wanted to get married soon, as much as I was broke, busted, and I don't know. But you know how you just have this assurance about your life, irrespective of where you are, and I knew that was a time for me I should just, get married. I was ready, mentally ready, I think. So that was it. A few months after then, I proposed, and boom, we are here now, 4 years later.
June, July, August, September.
Yes, 4 months later, I proposed, and
don't raise that brow up. Don't raise it. Okay, so he had said basically everything. So for my point, I just felt a young man who knew what he wanted. He wasn't dilly-dallying, he wasn't beating around the bush. He wanted something and he went for it. And for me, that was the height of it for me. Like, that was it. And here we are. Like he said, like I was telling him, there are this 80% rule and the 20% rule. All right, there are some things that he would have seen in me that he was like, I wish that this wasn't there. I wish this was there. So there is that. I wish she was this. I wish I wanted someone a bit. All those 20%. In as much as you found something, which is the 80, there's that 20%. So I would like you to talk about the 20%, something you wished was there or something you wished was not there, how you overcame it.
Okay, so here's the thing. The first thing was, I always say this to her and to some other young men and people around me, that for me, the person I was going to marry or date or anything, before I got married, I need to first find physically attractive. For me, that was very important. I need to be able to look at you and be like, wow, okay, she's fine, that kind of thing. And yes, call me Kamna, call me vain. I'm not even bothered at all. That was very important to me anyway. So okay, for the 80, yes, the first thing was the beauty. I mean, you can see she's beautiful, and then she had the right contours that I wanted, as much as she was slimmer then, but of course, you could see, guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? Anyways, so yeah, those things were there. The physical appearance for me was, I found her attractive, alright? So that was the first thing. Next, like I said, after conversing with her for a few minutes, that first day, I already knew where her head was. I knew that, of course, prior to that time, she had mixed up with the right audience. As much as she may not have known the much I wanted her to know at the time, but she was on the right path, you know, that kind of thing. It was important to me because we are going to raise a family together, we're going to raise our children together, we're going to be married, so we're going to be needing to have conversations, right? I would not have a conversation with a blockhead. Like, I wouldn't even, once we begin to talk, I will be turned off. I'm not saying I think I'm intelligent to a large extent, if I do say so myself, you know. However, it was important for me that the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, my gist mate, my partner, my life mate, we needed to be able to have a conversation. It was very important to me. So, having had that first interaction, I was sure that, of course, she fills her head with the right information, right? Spiritually, yes, to a large extent, that was intact, that was on point. That I knew of. I mean, I couldn't have opened her heart and looked inside. Dear God, dear, no, but from the conversation, you know, largely, I did not want a religious person. That one, I had always said it. If you're religious, you're a turn off for me, you know. So, but spiritually, you actually know God for yourself, you know. Okay, so that was basically, then another thing was a teachable and coachable spirit. For me, at the time, I would not say she was the best of all the ladies I dated within that period. I would not say that. Of course, she's here, so I'm not saying behind her back. However, she had that open-mindedness, right? She was open to learn. She was willing to learn. You know, there are some people that you're trying to tell one or two things and they're like, they won't even want to hear, you know. They have already a formed mindset about stuff, you know. So it was going to be difficult for me to interact with those kind of people. You know, I'm not a very regular guy. I'm not the regular kind of guy. And so someone that has to deal with me, my irregularity, you too must be able to be open-minded enough to accept it, you know. And as much as I am not perfect and I'll be willing, I'm also open-minded to learn, I was also very, very particular about someone that was, you know, more open-minded than someone that had it all. So those were the 80s. Those ones were intact. For the 20%, of course.
Spill it out.
She was actually vertically, you know, not very vertically upright. I don't want to say short. You're the one that is saying short to in your mind, it's not me.
But you know I'm not short, right?
Anyway, she didn't have that height, you know, like I wanted, yeah. And that's one. Number two is I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and it would have made more sense, like at the time, all right, someone that was the same. Like we're talking money, we're talking
money,
how to, you know, how to,
everything
you know,
should be money,
you know.
Okay.
One of my love languages is money.
Who does that? Who?
So I wanted someone that was, you know, like that too. But I think God had better plans for me. Otherwise, I'm sure maybe we would just hang out our children one day.
And all of us will be on the road getting money.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So that was basically it. So, but all together, I think all the parts, you know, came together to form a perfect wife for me, and a perfect mom for our kids, and a perfect helpmate generally.
Okay, so personally from my own end, I think I'll just talk about my 20% things that I saw I would, if I literally have the hand of time, I will change it. Okay, at the time when we started talking, I think he was straight up, like he told me where he was from. Okay, he just spelled it. I'm from Umbise. Bam, and my head started spinning. Like, I didn't have a problem with Umbise personally, but I was concerned concerning my parents. What would they say? Okay, how would they take it in? That was my concern. But how I dealt with it was I just told God, see, if you know this is your plan, just sort it out. And trust me, he did. When I told my mom, when I told my dad, there was this fear, but how it went out, I didn't know. Like, it just played itself out. Then another thing was, Like he was saying that I'm too, let me call it straight up, too short. I think he was too tall for me too, right? Okay, but I just felt, what's that? That's not what I should be looking out for. The values were already there. The values I needed. Someone who knew what he wanted out of life. He didn't want to just waste time, sit around, play around and all that. Okay, then I was telling one of my friends recently that it was something that is, if you have a goal or a vision, that's how you could come out of it. He was a stutterer. Like his own was badass. Like I didn't know I could deal with it. How am I going to deal with it? And you now see one fine guy doing like, God, how will I do? But now you are hearing him talk and you could barely hear it. And I just found that over the years the thing has literally died off, reduced drastically. So but then it was a really big issue for me. That is the 20% I had, and I just felt, oh no, the 80% is more, so let's do this. And I literally shut out the 20%. So it's also a lesson to you. You have to find out the 80%, you have to find out the 20%. So you hear some people tell you that, oh, this person is from this place, I cannot marry him, okay? And because of it, you just shut out a good, perfect marriage. It's a lesson, I think, for you. If you can pick it up from here, it will do you a great deal. One of the last things we are going to be talking about now is asking him what made him propose. As a young man in his age at the time, he would have been thinking of how to make more money for himself, get a bigger house, possibly get a car and all that, take care of his family. But what he wanted at the time was marriage. Till now, sometimes when we talk about it, I was like, Kai, you're not the regular guy like you just said. He wasn't, and he's still not the regular guy. Okay, so what made you propose without having not so much? In fact, okay, it was shortly after then he had proposed, they sacked him. So they fired him. That's how he says it. They fired him. Okay, me, I'll be telling him, be nice about it now. They literally fired him. Okay, so but he kept on. He didn't give up. He knew what he wanted and he was ready to go down the lane and get it done. So what made you propose?
Okay, what made me propose? Like I said earlier, I think I made up my mind. I think it's just about the mind. You need to be mentally ready. Be sure of what you want about life, you know. And I think sometimes too, the people you listen to, who you give your ear time to, is very important too. I think some of them may even push you into a lot of trouble, because I think I literally jumped into trouble in quotes, you know. It was the late Ubon King, God bless his soul, you know, that they used to say then, just around the time that if you don't jump into trouble, you won't be able to get out of the trouble, right? So don't take it out of context. You need to have context around it before you take that. Anyway, so that period, like I said, I was sure that I wanted to get married within a certain age, all right? And as much as I already had an income source, a source of income, even though it wasn't too big, all right? I had a source of income. I had some goals for my life. I knew the direction I wanted to go, even though I had not figured how out yet, but I knew this was the direction I wanted to go. And then eventually I saw a beautiful woman. Like, who would want to miss out on this opportunity, right? So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of young men. Whilst I was growing up, I saw a lot of men become very old, all right? They become very old where they are pursuing, you know, the things of life, right? They are pursuing a big house.
Which is not wrong in itself.
It's not wrong in itself. By all means, if that is your priority, beautiful, all right? But here's the thing. There are many guys, in as much as they want to get married early, all right, but they feel like they need to, this society has made it look like you have to have all those things, you know, in place to get married, all right? So for me, first, I made up my mind first that I was going to get married within a period of time, right? Number two, I now found God now sent my way the right woman. a woman that would help me achieve number 3, the goals and plans, aspirations I had for my life. For me, it was a perfect combo. And I heard a few of my mentors and people I listen to say that if you don't fix a date or a timeline to a thing, it almost never happens. You know, it never happens literally. So we went ahead and fixed a timeline, and boom, within a period of time, it happened exactly when we fixed it. All right, so that is it. That was what made me propose. Number 1, I made up my mind that I was going to marry at a certain age. As much as I went past with about a year plus, I went past that age with about a year plus. Then number 2 was I found God sent the right woman my way. I felt like she's already here, like, okay, so what else, right? Then number 3, I had plans for my life. I didn't want to turn 50. One of my greatest motivation was I didn't want to turn 50 and still be doing school run. Like, I'm shaking and I'm carrying my son and his lunchbox, you know, that kind of thing. I didn't want that at all. So yeah, you have it.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, this is just encourage all young men and ladies as well, right? Sometimes society, you know, make us feel like some things are rules and regulations. One of the things that we did as a couple, like she said, a few months to our wedding, I was fired, sacked, vamoosed out of the office, right? No income at the time. Okay, I had a few skills which I later turned to some form of income. It wasn't much, but it was enough to get us married, right? We didn't have plans for a reception. That's how bad. So I'm trying to tell you that whatever situation you are right now, you're planning on marrying, you feel like you don't have what society says you should have before you get married. That is not right. All right, that is not right. All right, so you are in a better position than we were at the time. Believe me and trust me. Okay, so it all boils down to you as a man. Make up your mind. When you make up your mind, God sends you the right woman.
True.
Once you make up your mind,
True.
God sends you the right woman, right? Then number 3, make plans for your life. I'm not saying that you drink garri and you now be forcing the lady to drink garri with you all your life. That's wickedness. No, wickedness, right? You need to make plans for your life. Don't remain where you are, because after all, she married is love. It's a lie. Your love needs money. Ego to grow. All right. Yes, love needs money, but you need to start somewhere. Stand somewhere, then grow. Make plans for your life. Make plans for the growth of your life, and don't be a lazy guy. Try and put in some work, and God always crowns your efforts. Yeah.
Okay, so why did I say yes? Okay, I've said part of the things before, but one of the things that I'm going to say again is that, see, I've been in some close relationships before. You see some young men, they are good, they have potentials, but they literally do not know where they are going, and they just want to go with one young girl. So somehow I just feel you just block every other guy from seeing that lady. Okay, and at the end of the day, you are not even sure you're going to marry her. I didn't like that. Okay, so but here I saw one guy that was like pam 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 pam, we don't have so much time. And I mean it's not like I knew, like God told me, my daughter, this is your husband. No, but I saw the values. I saw values that I could literally dwell in for my whole life. So why am I waiting? In fact, another thing that ladies do is that you tell a guy who loves you that, okay, let me ask my mentors, let me ask my friends that do not even, they're not going the same direction with you, and they'll tell you, no, why are you saying yes to him? He does not have this one, he does not do this one. And at the end of the day, you say no to someone God has sent your way. I talked to one of my friends that told me, no. But see me here, I literally did not take the no, right? Because I already saw what I wanted. We are not going to marry him together, so I already saw what I wanted. Why am I getting? I was just telling her because she was my friend, and she told me no. Right? Some of you just go ahead with the no and just leave stopped picking the guy's call. But I still went ahead because I think I saw what I wanted. So why am I waiting? Okay, so that was why I said yes. In fact, life has been beautiful with him, and we'll still do life together, right? We are doing it already. So as for our young girls, my single girls, most times God has sent men your way. They mustn't have come in what you are looking out for. To be blunt with you, some of them may not look like what you've had in your mind. Okay, he should be tall, dark, and handsome, rich, wealthy, and God-fearing, God-fearing, and all that. Sometimes they don't even look like it. Okay, most of the people I've listened to, they don't look like it, but when they get married, and before you know it, doors will start opening up for them, and you now start saying, oh, these are my role couples. If they tell you what they passed through when they started, you won't want to do that. So you should be sensitive enough as a lady to know that, okay, this is the person God is sending my way. And why are you waiting? Just do it.
Just do it.
Okay, so this is the end of our podcast today. I hope you found value. I hope you found something interesting. And if you have any form of question, please do well to share in the comment section. Share the video, hit the like button, and most especially subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's the end for today. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Till we come your way again, stay safe.
Peace.
Bye.